Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
Here's how I know that this video is really important. I've been trying to sleep for the last 4.5 hours. I like it really cool in my house when I sleep because I sleep better that way. And our thermostat cannot go any lower. Like, I've set it as low as it can go. It's cold outside, so it should be really cool in my house. And yet I've been awake for the last 4.5 hours because I'm hot. And usually when God interrupts my sleep like that, or doesn't allow me to fall asleep, it's because something needs to be released. And there's lots of things in my spirit right now. There are prophetic words that I would, in my flesh, like to release, because they're things that are about to happen. But that's not what I'm supposed to talk about. So if I seem a little, I don't know, like, there's a lot going on in my spirit right now. 2023 and the year of the open door. That is what I'm to talk about, and there's a couple verses that I'm supposed to share about with that as well. But things are going to start shifting in 2023, and I realize this again follows that Super Bowl 51 video. If you haven't watched that, watch the video of mine called, I'll try and put it up here, Why There Was No Red Wave, or Why the Red Wave Didn't Happen. I show how, according to Super Bowl 51, that shouldn't be a surprise, but what we can expect in 2023 and 2024. And okay. There was a reel that I watched on Instagram tonight. It's Jim Rohn talking about his mentor. And his mentor told him, if you want to be rich, you need to learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This is a concept that I don't think a lot of Christians really understand, because they think there's no work to be done. So I've talked about this at length, but I have a great concern because most people in the wealth transfer are not prepared for the wealth transfer. They're like lottery ticket people who buy lottery tickets, then win the lottery, and then go broke in 3 years. And why lottery winners go broke is because nothing changes. They don't work on themselves. They're not mentally or emotionally prepared to be rich, so they don't change their money habits. They still have money habits of broke people. So all that changes is that they suddenly get more money. Nothing else changes. Their thought patterns don't change. Their money habits don't change. And really, it's a mockery of God in a sense, because the Bible says that he who is faithful with little will be faithful with much. So people think, well, I just need more money. And it's like, well, no, you need to be more faithful with what you have and then allow God to promote you. So in most cases, when people win the lottery, it's actually a false promotion. And they're being thrown into a position that they're not at all ready for. And this is why I've been urging very strongly for wealth transfer people to start making this shift. Why? Because you can't think like you've been thinking, get more money, and then think, I'm going to stay rich. You won't. Because you're going to regress to the level of your thoughts. You're going to regress to the level of your emotional state. And a lot of people are, bitter at rich people, or they have some sort of trauma or thing with failure or whatever that they haven't dealt with. So I'm like, you need to deal with all the emotional baggage, get that out of the way so that there's no reason for you to self-sabotage yourself. Because that's what it really is with lottery winners, right? They win a lot of money, but they self-sabotage to get themselves back to where they were financially before they won the lottery. Bring these verses here to tie this together. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 1 to 15. I think that whole thing is important, but there's a couple verses specifically. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. Moreover, God has the power to provide you with every gracious gift in abundance, so that you will always in every way have all you need yourselves and be able to provide abundantly for every good cause. There's a couple things in this verse. Most people are not in any way where they feel like they've been given every gracious gift in abundance so that they have enough for all of their needs, like so that in always, in every way, you will have all you need for yourselves. Most people aren't even at that level. So we need to get there and then get to a point where we can provide for every good cause. Not every cause, but every good cause. And having the wisdom to discern which is which. Okay, so that's a standard that we need to get to even before the wealth transfer comes. For people who are thinking, I just need more money. No. What you need is to tune into a different frequency with your thoughts. So start changing how you think, right? As a man thinketh, so is he. And then deal with your emotional baggage. And then actually start learning skills. People are like, I want to understand how to make money. But they don't want to put the time into learning to be really good at real estate investing, right? People want to like dabble in stuff. It's like, I want to dabble in this stuff and be rich. No, the Bible says that the hand of the diligent shall be made rich. Reading one book on real estate does not make you diligent. So I've been saying that people really need to get to the point where they're the best in their fields, right? Whatever you're doing now, and however you plan to make money after the wealth transfer, like I've bought a bunch of books on real estate, but from the tax perspective, on different loopholes and stuff that can be applied, because I see that as a vehicle to pay less tax. So I plan to be very proficient in that, and it's not just going to be a hobby that I dabble in. So there's things that you need to get really good at to become excellent at, and not just dabble. Christians in general have been dabblers, and they're not even the best in their fields and things. And it's like, why don't I have more business? Well, Billy, because you suck at what you do. Or you're not that diligent at it, or you really couldn't be bothered to do a good job. So you're not being faithful with little. So the Bible says, he who is faithful with little will be faithful with much. The implication there is if you're faithful with little, you're going to get more because God sees and understands that he can trust you. So if you're sitting there and you're not sure where to start, I started with The Richest Man in Babylon. I thought that was a really good book. It's not financial or investment advice. This is just my opinion. Now, for the open doors portion. For the open doors portion, the Lord had led me to Luke chapter 11, starting at verse 5. There's a story there about a man basically who has friends show up, doesn't have anything for them to eat. So he goes to a friend of his who is a bread maker. And it's the middle of the night, and he's trying to get the bread maker to give him some bread. And the bread maker says no. And it basically says because of this man's persistence, the baker's going to get up and give him what he asks for, just to be rid of him. We see this also with the unrighteous judge, right? The woman keeps going to him day after day after day, and finally he relents just to get rid of her. That persistence is really important. After that story, this is, again, Luke chapter 11, starting in verse 9. Moreover, I say to you, keep asking, and it will be given to you. Keep seeking, you will find. Keep knocking, and the door will be opened. Goes on asking, receives, and he who goes on seeking finds. And to him who continues knocking, the door will be open. There's nothing in there about might be opened or could be opened. These are really finite. Like, if you keep knocking, the door will be opened. If you keep asking, it will be given to you. These are absolutes. This is covered again in Matthew chapter 7, talking about this kind of persistence. And so when it comes to 2023 being the year of the open doors, I believe many of us are believing for different things, different doors to open to us. And I feel God is saying, are you going to be persistent? What does that mean? If you really believe that God is going to come through for you and do something, you're going to take action in that respect. So, like, for me, I have a couple needs right now. Like, I wouldn't consider them major, but they're kind of nagging, right? And they've been nagging there for a few weeks, and it's like, okay, well, I haven't done anything about this. I'm just kind of expecting the money to come, and it's like, well, there's a process. The Bible says that we're supposed to take our cares before God with prayers and petition. I haven't written a petition about these things yet. I need to today. I want to today. But it's like, if we really trust God and really believe Him, even for these things that kind of seem like a little mundane, it's like we would go and we would ask Him. The Bible says we have not because we ask not. So it's like, what are these things that you've just kind of become comfortable with, or you've kind of stopped believing for, where it's like, well, no, I need to go write a petition to inquire of this or to ask God for this, and then I just need to keep asking, right? To be that persistent. So it's like, what do you really believe that God has promised you, that God has said He's going to give you? Oh, I feel like I'm preaching to myself. What level of persistence are you willing to apply? Because the only reason that you would quit is from a motive of unbelief. Because if you really believe in what you're needing, what you're asking for, and that God is actually going to give it to you, you would ask without ceasing. So then it's kind of gut check time. Do you really believe or not? That just feels heavy. But like it's a good question. Do you really believe or not? God will open doors that no man can close and close doors that no man can open. Are you willing to ask God to open these doors for you? He's telling us right here. He's making a promise. 2023 is the year of the open doors. So are you willing to go contend for those? And this is the reason God's having me do this video in the middle of the night. Because it's like, okay, take my YouTube channel, for example. In order for my YouTube channel to keep growing, I need to keep making videos, right? To be persistent. And I just feel like He's got me up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing this video. Because it's very much like the persistence that the man showed with the bread maker. It's like, okay, are you willing to like listen to the word of the Lord? Like, I don't feel like doing this video. I feel like, well, God, if you would let me sleep, and if you would let me shower, and if you would let me eat breakfast and do all these things, I could put together a better video. But God's like, nope, we're doing it now. I don't know why. He does, so I trust Him. So I respond in obedience. But there's lots of doors I believe that God has promised. And it's like, are we willing to contend for our promises? So when I hear a word like this, that 2023 is the year of the open doors, it's time to get diligent, and it's time to be persistent in asking, and to continue to ask until we receive, until it's given to us, to continue to knock, and we radically have to shift Christian culture to be way more persistent. What are you willing to believe for? I think that's a question that needs to be asked. For people who resonate with my videos, I would like to invite you to join a private wealth transfer group that I've put together. It's a community. And every Thursday night we do Zoom calls. Not every Thursday. Most Thursdays. We do Zoom calls. And it's just been a really incredible community to watch come together. And it's actually growing quite rapidly. In December, it doubled alone. And I'm expecting a lot more rapid growth as well. But I only want the people that know that they're supposed to be there, who resonate with me, my videos, and that are a good fit. I don't want people. It's I only want the right fits there. There's a link for that down below. And I'm gonna end this video here because I think I've said everything I need to think that I need to say, and I think I've given you all a lot to think about. Those of you